This is so simple. There are 5 chapters to this story. Chapter 1, you need this category. Chapter 2, you need our version of this category. Chapter 3, we are going to hold your hand every step of the way. Chapter 4, you are not alone. And chapter 5, let's get started. Here's what we do. Call to action. Chapter 1, you need this category. Chapter 2, you need our version of this category. Chapter 3, we are going to hold your hand every step of the way. Chapter 4, you are not alone. And chapter 5, let's get going. Here's the call to action right now. Let's talk about that a little bit. What does a category mean? What we want to think about in this education section is to say, you need the kind of thing I offer. You don't need me. We'll talk about that later. What you need is the category. Let's say you are a financial guide, you are an investment advisor. One of the first things you want to talk about in a category is not, you need to think about money. Well, that's too big and that's not you, right? What is your category? What is the thing you are part of that people don't realize they need to have as part of their life, right? So what you might say is, a whole lot of people manage their own money, make their own decisions, do their own thing. What I'm telling you is, you can do better with outside help. You can do better with a specialist. You can do better with someone that's focused only on you. You can do better with someone that has done this for their whole life and does nothing else. The category is analysts. I'm not talking about me yet. I'm telling you, you should think about that. Let's do a whole different example. Let's say I'm Tesla. I want to sell you one of those beautiful Tesla electric cars. My chapter 1 is not, let me tell you about Tesla. My chapter 1 is, electric cars should be part of your life. They help the environment. They are super fun to drive. They are gorgeous. They are quiet. This is the category that we want to sell you on. So what is the category you're in that not everyone realizes they should be part of? That is chapter 1. All right, chapter 2. This is the chapter that everybody loves, right? Let me tell you all about me. So at this point, we want to say, not all people in this field are equal. Financial analysts, not all of them only have a fiduciary responsibility, have a responsibility to you. Some of them make money when they make trades. You don't want those kind of people. You want people like me. Some people do 4 different kind of things. I only do one thing, and that's focus on you. Again, you want my version. If it's Tesla, you want a version that's got this automatic driving that cheaper electric cars don't have. Or you want our fit and finish, or you want our guarantees, or you want our superchargers so you can go all over the country and get free fuel. So chapter 2 is when you're talking about you. You're telling to the customer, not only do you need this category, you need my version of this category. That's chapter 2. We're going to go in a whole example of this in a second. Chapter 3, we will hold your hand every step of the way. We need to help people feel comfortable. They're not just entering a new category. They've never had any kind of financial planner. Now you want them to jump to you. They've never had any electric vehicle. Now you want to buy this high-end Tesla. What are the things that you're going to do to make them easy? You're going to make the transaction easy. You're going to make sure they have all their questions answered. All the things. We're going to hold your hand to make sure you're super comfortable. Okay, at this point, they're thinking, maybe that category is good. Maybe this person's different than other people. Maybe he's even better. And he's going to take care of me the whole way. I kind of like that, but it's still scary, right? It's still this cutting edge. It's still change. No one likes change. So what's chapter 4? Does anybody remember already? You're not alone. Let me tell you about the kind of people that are already using this. The Tesla is the #1 selling luxury car in the entire state of California in the United States. It is the fastest growing car in China. That's kind of interesting. Let me tell you about the customers for my financial analyst business. Let me tell you the people that I've got right now. I've got executives. I also have people that are really just starting off in their career and trying to figure out what their financial plan is. People just like you use my service and they're incredibly happy. Let me show you their testimonials and show you how happy they are. You're not alone. Chapter 4, you're not alone. And then finally, chapter 5 is, let's get started. Here's the paperwork to get going. Here's the 3 steps that we go through. We want the way we get started to be very simple. I mean this a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but there's always 3 steps, maybe 4. But here's the things we want to go through to say, first, we're going to do an audit of your needs. We're then going to recommend a full solution. And then by Friday, we'll be going. A month from now, you'll have a Tesla in your garage. A month from now, you and I will have a new financial plan for you that will set you off with comfort for the next year. So we want to make that call to action really, really simple. Chapter 5, let's get started. So chapter 1, you need the category. Chapter 2, you need our version of the category. Chapter 3, we're going to hold your hand every step of the way. Chapter 4, you are not alone. And chapter 5, let's get started. All right. So I promised this weird example. This is the third company I think that I used this approach with. And the CEO called me with this strange business that I don't even know how to approach this. Here's the business. Many of you are aware of the concept of life insurance, right? You pay some money, you pay a premium every month or every 6 months. And then if you die, some insurance company gives money to your family. That's classic life insurance. Well, it turns out there's this weird pocket in the life insurance market where people get life insurance at whatever point in their life. They're paying into it year after year after year after year. Maybe their kids are young, they want to take care of their kids. And all of a sudden, years pass, decades pass. Now you've got someone that might be in their 60s or 70s or 80s, maybe that are quite ill, and they need money maybe even for healthcare. And what they look at is this premium on life insurance is getting more expensive every year. They might be paying $20,000 a year just in premiums. And they're saying, this is crazy. I'm just going to turn this off. I'm going to call the insurance company. By the way, I did this last year for what it's worth. I'm going to call my insurance company. I'm going to just turn it off. I'm going to stop paying for these premiums. And so what happens then? Well, the insurance company's kind of happy about this. They've been getting premiums for 40 years and instantly they never have to pay out on the policy. So this new industry arose and it's kind of creepy. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I find it kind of creepy. Someone comes in and says to you, look, you are 74 years old. You have a disease, which is very expensive to take care of. And you don't have a lot of income coming in. And you've got this $1 million life insurance policy. How about if I come in, I will just hand you $800,000. That's a lot of money, right? 80% of your policy. That's a lot of money. I'm going to hand you this money. And then I, as a company, I'm going to keep paying your premiums. You can use that money for healthcare. You can use it for vacation. You can use it to take care of your kids. I'm not selling this, right? I'm telling you, I find it creepy. But I just want you to realize that this is a real business that has benefits to both the person selling the policy and the person buying the policy. And the person buying the policy pays the premiums. Eventually they get paid. That's the way the business works. So let's talk about what this CEO did. What are our 5 chapters? You need the category. You need our versions category. We're going to hold your hand every step of the way. You are not alone. Let's get started, right? By the end of this, I promise you're going to be able to do this by heart. Chapter 1, you need this category. Why do you need this category? Okay, so this person, the CEO that called me, his pitch was not to the people with the policies. His pitch was to investors. His pitch was to the people who want to invest in the company to buy these policies. Got that distinction? So there's people buying the policies and people selling the policies. So he came in and said, first of all, why do you want to know about this business? What's the category? The category's creepy, but let's think about it for a second. First of all, we really are helping people. We really are providing a last-ditch option. Sometimes the last opportunity these people have to have a comfortable end of their life comes from this business. Okay, that's nice, but investors aren't in the business for just altruism. Here's the other thing that's going on. When an economy goes bad, when the economy gets bad, almost every investment goes down, right? When the economy's bad, the stock market goes down. When the economy's bad, your bonds often go down. When the economy's bad, the value of your real estate goes down. When the economy's down, everything gets bad. However, life insurance has nothing to do with the economy, right? People live, they die, we're all human. It's a very natural process. It has nothing to do with the economy. So suddenly you have an investment that has nothing to do with the economy. The economy goes down, your investment stays the same. That is very unusual. In the investment world, they call it counter-cyclicality. It's a super big deal, very attractive, full stop. What else? It turns out, how much money can you make on your investments? Well, let's see. If I put my money in the bank, I make less than 1%. If I put it in the bond market, I make maybe 4 or 5%. I put it in the stock market in a good year, or at least a good trend, maybe I make 7 or 8%. I put into real estate, who knows? Well, suddenly this life insurance market, it turns out investors can make about 12%. 12%, that's a lot, right? So suddenly, why do you need this category? You need this category because it isn't affected by the economy and the returns are really high. That's all you need to know. Okay, what does a person do? Huh, never thought of that. Okay, I'm listening. That's all we're saying, I'm listening. Okay, now, chapter 2, you need our version. Why do you need our version? Well, first of all, a whole bunch of companies are really slimy and they find these people that are desperate. They try to give them 5 cents in the dollar. They exploit them, they abuse them. We don't do that. Here's the records. We don't do that. We treat people well. All right, that's good. Second thing is a lot of fly-by-night operations. They buy the policy, they pay the premiums, and maybe if the person passes away and the policy pays off, maybe you get your money. No, no, no. as the CEO told me, our version is we have very, very strong security and corporate culture. We run this like a top-notch business. Okay, so they're more professional. They don't exploit people. They're more professional. I kind of like their approach. Chapter 2, right? Chapter 1, I like the category, counter-cyclical, high returns. Chapter 2, I like these people. They don't exploit people, and they run their business like professionals. What's chapter 3? We're going to hold your hand every step of the way, right? Well, this is hard stuff. It's new stuff. It's kind of creepy. I have a lot of questions for you. Okay, great. Every step of the way, answering your questions. Again, this is the CEO's story. He gave them his mobile number to every one of his investors. You call me anytime you've got a question. By the way, one of the things we need to do is do some paperwork. The paperwork requires that a third party comes in and stamps it and says that you're who you say you are. It's called a notary in the United States. Well, we'll just send someone to your office. We know you don't want to drive around. We'll make it so easy. We're going to hold your hand every step of the way. Okay, there's chapter 3. We're done with that. Chapter 4. Okay, I like it. I like that you make it easy, but I just don't want to be on the bleeding edge. It sounds kind of scary. Who else is doing this? You're not alone. Turns out that one of the most famous investors in the United States, a fellow named Warren Buffett, he owns a company called Berkshire Hathaway. He started investing in this stuff like 15 years ago. All right, so serious investors are already investing in it. Let me tell you about my customers. And suddenly a CEO could say, I will give you a list. I won't give you their names, but I'll give you their role. I'll give you their goals. Here's a CEO of his company. He needed better investments. Here's a person that was just a person that had a family business, was trying to manage money for their entire family. They needed a good opportunity that was safe and had high returns and didn't go down when the economy went down. They're my customer. Here's a person that's new in the market, a brand new investor. They want to diversify. So I can walk you through these people to say you're not alone, so you can be comfortable. You can be part of a group. And then finally, what's chapter 5? Let's get started. There are 3 steps. You need to be authorized. It's kind of a weird investment, so we need to go through this little process to make sure that you are considered an informed investor. You need to be qualified to make the purchase. You need to decide how much you want to invest. And then we're going to transfer the money. And by the way, once again, we're going to hold your hand every step of the way. It's 3 steps. You can be fully invested in a month. What's going to stop you from moving forward? Let's go do business together. So detailed example of this strange, kind of creepy, kind of weird business. And it applies to this giant global tech company, this 5-step process, the giant global tech company. It applies to this really weird, creepy company. And as long as you are truly adding value and you are differentiated in a way that is within a segment you can talk about, this pitch will work for you. So what are the steps I want you to go through? One is you got to figure out your category. What is the space you're in, the space your business is in, that you can define that not everyone is investing in, but where you have serious competitors, because that's the education, right? That's chapter 1. You need this category. Chapter 2, what are all the things that differentiate you? Now here, I don't mean this to be a plug, but this is where the Persuasion Foundation formula comes in. The Persuasion Foundation formula is all about figuring out the needs of your customers, your prospects, and mapping your value to those, mapping what makes you special to the problems that these people have. That's how you are different. That is your chapter 2. That's your chapter 2. You need our version of this category. Okay, chapter 3, what are all the ways you can make life easier for customers? Everybody's busy now. How do you hold their hand, make them comfortable, take away their fear, make sure they're clear on every aspect of your business, make it comfortable to do business with you? That's chapter 3. We'll hold your hand. Chapter 4, you're not alone. Who are your customers today? Now I'll tell you, if you don't have customers, I don't want you to suddenly have the hair on the back of your neck stand up. If you're just new to your business, you can talk about other people that are investing in this kind of business. You can talk about why you invest in this kind of business, but eventually and as quickly as you can, you want to start to gather the people that are already your customers, get testimonials, get comments from them, get descriptions of them without using their name, of course, unless they let you, but make sure that you've got a story around you are not alone. And then finally, with chapter 5, what are the next steps to work with you? Make them simple. 1, 2, 3 steps, very action-oriented. Not things like, okay, you go away and think for 2 weeks. That's not an action. An action is, we're going to figure out exactly what your needs are. We're going to write them down. I'm going to match the configuration of my product or my service or the kind of things I'll do for you. And then you'll sign a piece of paper and you will be up and running in 10 days. Very concrete, very action-oriented. Those are the 5 steps. So at this point, I'm hoping we can do this together. Chapter 1, you need this category. Chapter 2, you need our version of this category. Chapter 3, we will hold your hand every step of the way. Chapter 4, you are not alone. Chapter 5, let's get started. Please stay around for some free bonus material based on real questions from students in the live session.